And Volkanovski, I don't see Holloway beating him, I'm afraid.
Same.
He looks so good.
He did. I think Korean Zombies, obviously that fight was like meant to be the Holloway 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he just looked like leagues above Zombie.
Leagues.
Like,
it was a good stoppage as well. I tweeted about it as well.
Yeah.
Like, of course we can always get on referees when they do bad stoppages, but that, when they do a good one, we need to acknowledge it as well. Like, that's the kind of decision making we need. It's like, no more.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to take any more.
It's funny because when they came out for that 4th round, like Volkanovski was like, "Are you okay?" to Zombie.
Are you sure you want to continue?
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
But yeah, I thought it was a good stoppage, and he looked on fire.
Yeah.
And I can't see anyone beating him really in that division.
No, I'm just looking at the rankings now. I mean, like, we've got high hopes for Arnold Allen, but I think we need to see some development in his game before he's ready for a Volkanovski. And Arnold Allen's got a few people above him, Calvin Kattar, Rodriguez, Ortega and Holloway. Chikadze could be an interesting one, but I don't know as he's got the takedown defense to keep Volkanovski off, or at least give him the confidence to release his shots and let him go. And then you look further down, you look at someone like a Movsar Evloev, potentially in the future, if he starts making a bit of noise. Ilya Topuria on the in top 15. I don't know. It's a kind of a lockdown division for him now. Honestly, the fight I would like to see, I'd like to see Cejudo come back out of retirement and fight Volkanovski. That'd be a really interesting one, because I think that they can, to an extent, cancel each other out skill wise. And I think although Cejudo is going to be the slightly smaller in stature, I think he's more than comparable with Volkanovski, who's not a giant. You know what I mean? He's not. What is he? 5'6", Volkanovski, 5'7"?
I think so, yeah, 5'6".
Yeah, and then you're looking at Cejudo, who's maybe 5'4", 5'5", and he's been out for a bit, so he's going to be heavy as well. Like, I think that's an interesting fight to make. We'll see. I did hear Cejudo was getting back in the testing pool, didn't you?
Yeah. The thing is, AJ McKee did you see that?
Yeah, that's a good fight.
Yeah.
That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good fight. I mean, at this point, I still feel like Volkanovski, just pace and variety and depth of his game, I just think he's ahead of all these other featherweights right now.
Do you think he could go down as because he's beat Holloway twice, and he's beat Aldo as well. So do you think he could be classed as like the best featherweight?
I mean, he's heading in that direction. It's difficult to compare, I think, because for me, and this might be a generational thing, or I might be rose tinted glasses on Aldo, but for me, he'll always be the best featherweight. But that was because of what he was doing as a featherweight when I was coming up. I think,
right.
Like I was watching him use this Muay Thai skill set just to dominate people. Like people couldn't take him down. They couldn't keep up with him. His speed was unreal. And the other thing as well is he was that transition from WEC to UFC, and it was just such an impressive time to be watching him do what he was doing against all of these other great fighters. I don't know as I can compare. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, as far as what Volkanovski's doing right now, he's achieving more than I would say any other featherweight has before, comparable only to Aldo. But again, because they're different generations, I don't know how you would compare. I mean, Aldo at one point was, you look at this run. So let's have a quick look. So his last couple of fights in WEC back in 2009. So featherweight title eliminator against Cub Swanson, knocked him out with a knee in 8 seconds. And the timing on it was unreal. Then next up, he won the featherweight title again off Mike Brown, stopped him with punches in the second round. Then he defended it against Uriah Faber, beaten by unanimous decision. And the swelling and bruising on Faber's leg was like nothing I'd ever... It looked like a massive purple sausage. It was awful. It looked like the eggplant emoji. He came into a show the week after, because we did a show together, and he was on crutches. And he couldn't even get his trousers on. He couldn't even get his legs on over it because it was so swollen. But then you look at his run, Manny Gamburian, Mark Hominick, Kenny Florian, Chad Mendes, Frankie Edgar, Korean Zombie, Lamas, Chad Mendes again. Then he lost to McGregor, but then he's back. He's beaten Frankie Edgar again. It was a very impressive run. I mean, Volkanovski for me is probably the most complete featherweight of all time. But I don't know. I find it hard to compare anybody with Aldo, to be honest. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the scary thing about Alexander Volkanovski is he's on what, a 21 fight win streak, and he's nowhere near done.
No,
like you could see him fighting for another 5-10 years, and that's scary.
I think his like training and just his mindset as well is like really like way above a lot of people in that division as well. Just like the work he puts in and the grind he goes through. It's a bit like I don't know if you saw Burns's strength and conditioning like videos
on the countdown.
Before. Yeah.
No, I don't think I did.
He was going through hell.
Was he?
I think he's probably obviously needed to for the Khamzat fight, but just that level of like, you know, the mindset, really strong mindset. I think Volkanovski's like,
he's a bit Mark Madsen in that way, isn't he? Like, he's like clinical in his approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.